Welcome to Game, Set and Chat, where we're serving up tennis talk every week to help you improve your game.
All right.
Wow.
Full season.
Yeah, full season finish here, Philip. How are we feeling?
Well, right now I'm a little flustered. Just got off the court from a lesson. Had to go outside today. Not that that's bad, but just wasn't kind of expecting it. School's starting again and everything, so the kids are all inside. So I'm just kind of a little bit out of
A little
sorts.
hot. We're in Alabama. It can be hot.
And I had the black shirt on today, so it's like, yeah. But no, it was good. It was a good lesson. Fun client, coming along great. And one of those things that really makes coaching worthwhile to me is a student really grinding, working on something, and then they execute it and they feel it and it just feels right. And they just look up at you and go, oh, and it's just, you just like, yes, you know.
So just have that light bulb moment, right?
Absolutely. Love it.
And sometimes they get it in 5 minutes and the light bulb moment goes quick. And sometimes you're 3 lessons in and you're banging your head against the wall and it comes. And I find those more rewarding.
Or it's 5 weeks in and you think, man, I'm a trash coach. But then it happens and you're like, yes, all right, cool.
Yeah. I think the sign of a good coach is just never giving in, right?
Absolutely.
There will be a way to break that.
Correct.
And have that light bulb moment. And when they do, they're getting that feedback themselves and then they're off to a flyer.
Absolutely.
I always tell people that then you got the green ball machine over there who feeds it a lot better than I feed it. So just go practice with him and he'll get you straight.
Right.
But kind of a cool thing there too is you talk about coaching outside versus coaching inside. I know we often talk about coaching inside being more beneficial. Obviously, we're fortunate to have indoor courts, but if you take away some of the elements, it can help with some of the technical aspects and things like that.
Yeah.
So when you go outside, you do have to account for some more things, and maybe people can give themselves more grace when they're outdoor tennis players.
Yes, absolutely. Sun, the wind. If you're playing on a clay court, right, there's going to be bounces, whether it's off the clay itself or that's off the line, or honestly on a lot of hard courts, you got cracks and stuff. So, even as we've talked about over the course of the season about, tennis being a game of errors and you're going to lose 49% of the points. Well, sometimes that bad bounce is you just got to chalk that up to one of your 49% that you're allowed to lose. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. And so we kind of get to the end of our season here and we talk about a wrap up, right? We kind of say, hey, let's meet up. Let's kind of wrap up the season and let's look forward to next season. And so what can people look forward to for next season?
Well, I think we've got to start on several series. So we've covered a lot of the basics and the fundamentals, singles basics, doubles basics. We can, tennisisms, that could be an ongoing series, right? So we can always talk about different things there. Hot takes, always going to be some strong opinions, right?
Plenty more of those where they came from.
A lot of hot takes, right? So installments of those, more guests. We've got a request guest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wants to come on and discuss a topic that's pretty important. And then also with some of the very first episodes, psychology of match play or the 4 aspects of tennis. We can really take those, as feedback from listeners. We can dive deep into the elements of the 4 aspects or one particular element of psychology of match play or preparation, right? We had a whole episode there and we could really take that apart and dive deep on some of those elements and just do a little more deep dives on those. And then, I'm sure we've got a stack of ideas that people have been giving us and Noah's got, right, that we can go into.
Yeah, plenty of topics in here. I think different surfaces will be a good one.
Yeah,
I think weather conditions and things like that can play a huge part. I think that would be a good one. Growing up playing in England, it was always windy, right?
Yeah.
It was always windy. And me and my dad would drive to a match and it would be howling wind and we would go, good job, I'm a wind specialist. That was like our thing. We loved it when it was windy. We used to call me the wind specialist because if you can play it to your advantage, it's a huge help. So I like that idea there. Just plenty of topics, right? I think we got a lot to play with and a lot of scope, and we've really enjoyed doing this season. let's kind of go back through just some of the basic things we've spoken about real quick. So we've got, we started with our 4 aspects of training, right? Kind of helping people understand how to categorize their individual aspects of their tennis. So you've got tactical, technical, mental, and physical, and understanding how those connect, right? I encourage everyone, if you haven't, if this is your first time listening, right, go back to that episode and really think about which one needs the work, how they combine. Maybe you're a better analyzer of your game now, because when you make an error, maybe you understand, oh, well, you know what, that was a mental error right there, right? Most people are just quick to blame whichever one they like to blame always.
Yeah, my forehand broke down or whatever, right? When really we just went for the wrong shot. Yeah.
Exactly right. We've got the equipment episode. I think that was a cool one, and I think that's one, lots more deep dives to come.
Absolutely, could go way deeper into equipment for sure.
Yeah, we've got types of training, right? So trying to come together with a good training schedule. I think that was a really good one. And I encourage people, again, to try and include free play and experimental tennis into their training program, and just understand that the different elements require different things on a tennis court, right? Some of the things we spoke about that day being, if you're doing intentional learning, that's going to be a slower session.
Yeah.
We need some competitive match play in there. We need some free play. And if you can blend it all together over whatever hours you have available that week, you're going to build a good training program.
Yeah.
I've definitely had some people like reach out to me and be like, I've changed the way I practice, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
They've said, I sat down with a pen and paper and I said, what do I do? And they've said, all right, well, maybe I take this out. I don't need that extra fun match. Maybe I need a free play clinic.
That's cool. Yeah.
Or maybe I take that extra clinic out and I get on the ball machine and work on some reps. So that's kind of neat. And then we've got psychology of match play, probably my favorite topic. I had a kid take a college credit course. All right, if you know who you are because you're a listener. And he came to interview me about the podcast as part of his college credit. And he said,
awesome.
said, I'm writing my paper on podcasts and I want to interview you, seeing as you have one. And one of the questions he astutely asked me was, which was your favorite episode? And me personally was my psychology of match play episode.
Yeah.
I think that was my favorite one because I think philosophy on a tennis court and in life is probably where I think you get the most benefit out of.
Yeah.
If you're listening, I'd love for you to write in and tell us which your favorite episode was this season. What was yours?
I really enjoyed all of them, and I think, given our setup, I think the pro game versus rec game.
Yeah.
I think that's one where, that really is who we are and our experiences, and so being able to kind of talk that out, and because it's not something we've really sat down and discussed before. Mm-mm. And so being able to just pick each other's brains and say, well, you say that, but on the rec side, I mean, it's more like this, and just to share the two viewpoints and two experiences. I felt like that was a pretty fun one.
Yeah, and I think there's more scope on that one, right? With a lot of these episodes, there's a lot more meat on the bone. So
absolutely.
Write in and let us know which ones you enjoyed the most. We had our hot takes, we had our tennisisms, pro versus rec game. We had our college tennis episode with Mr. Houston Jakes.
Team tennis, yeah.
Team tennis. We actually just finished our TGA Rocket City Open tournament. I finished in third, so.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. Pretty good week on the course, I'm not going to lie. It was a lot of fun. Everyone got out there and had a good time with it. So remember to follow Tennis Golf Association on Instagram. You'll see a lot more about that.
Ridiculous. In the best way.
It's the best way,
but it is completely over the top.
We've got our tournament prep episode. I think some of our juniors might be listening. You might be traveling to tournaments this weekend, and we just got off court working with the ones that are going to the state closed. There's the level 1 hard court tournament this weekend.
Yeah.
The Clays girls that came in town this year, the Clays girls that I've seen in previous years, good luck this weekend.
Well, and for on the rec side, right, we've had mixed is coming up soon. I think it's still in Dothan this year, and then there'll be combo and tri-level stuff going on. So a lot of tournaments for a lot of our local listeners and adult players that are coming up. So that's a good one to check out, and just, okay, how can I apply those concepts as a rec player going to these adult tournaments,
Yeah. So, and again, check out that episode and think about the way you prepare for these things. It really is fail to prepare to fail. And some people have more time to prepare, and that is an advantage at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We spoke about getting there early and doing the right things, and so go back to that episode. Even if you've listened before juniors, right, that came for clays, even if you listened before the clays tournament, listen again. This is a resource for you to go back and tick the boxes. How do I prepare? Do I do the right things? So I think we're getting a lot of good responses that were really helping people, and that was our plan all along.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got a lot. I've gotten a lot of good feedback. I mean, like I said, we are at the club, so we'll go upstairs, get something to bite to eat after the clinics or anything on like our Tuesday night clinic or something like that. And I've got a lot of, I really like the podcast, and this, that, and the other. Your dad, my dad are both watching every week. And I'm getting a lot of feedback from Steve and a lot of constructive criticism for my father in terms of, hey, did you know the audio stunk on this one, or the video was messed up on that? I'm like, yes, Dad, thank you. I'm well aware. I'm working on it.
He'll never not be Dad.
No, never not be Dad, right? So, but it's fun. It's fun to have him listen in, and we talk and we have some conversations, and it's he's big into bowling, him and my mom. So it's funny because he says, you're talking about this, that, and the other, and it's applicable to the way we go about bowling or this sport or any other sport, right? So a lot of the things we were talking about, yes, we were talking about them from a tennis perspective, but honestly, they really can be applicable to pretty much any sport, right?
Or life.
Without
getting too philosophical, right? I think, I always attribute everything that there's a lot of good things. There's things that tennis has taught me about how to live my life that I really value.
Yeah.
And so I think applying it to other sports, applying it to how you approach situations, I think being able to process information and think through things is just huge,
One of the things I joke with my students about sometimes, because me being me and people that know me will chuckle at this, is if you didn't know, my degree is in philosophy. So, but I didn't do that for a living because, really can't make a living at that. But anyway, the point is, like, I'm having a lesson and I'm discussing something, and I say, come for the tennis, stay for the philosophy. So,
just a little bit extra on the side.
A little bit of extra, right? Value add.
My pod dedication last week was to my siblings, right? And they're avid listeners every week. And it's kind of a way we can connect sometimes. And they're not tennis players.
Yeah.
My siblings can swing a racket just down the rec courts with some friends, but they do not play regularly by any means. I would say they probably get out a couple times a year, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for my sister to come visit next month. And
Nice.
The first thing she was like, I feel like I want to play tennis.
That's
like,
awesome.
will you teach me? Like, I've been listening to the pod every week. I feel like I'm ready to go.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited to get her
cool.
over here and swing. And I think that might be an interesting thing too. If someone's looking to get into tennis, or you want to get a family member into tennis, or someone says, hey, you're always at the tennis club. What's it all about? Send them to our podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like even if you have no idea about tennis before, if you kind of listen to our podcast, I think you get an idea of what it's all about.
Yeah.
Maybe a good starting point as well, to be able to send a new person to the podcast to where they have a good mentality and approach right from the start.
Right. Rather than showing up with the perfectionist mindset of every ball has to go in, every ball has to be perfect, every swing has to be amazing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I would argue that it gives you the framework to be able to have fun learning.
Yeah.
Which is,
It's massive.
It's the reason why we play, right? Tennis is fun.
Should be. Most times.
Yeah, so moving forward into next season, so again, the kind of game plan for our listeners is about, I think we plan on 4, maybe 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Here, a little hiatus. We're going to bring it back around our club championship. So that'll be a fun little bringing it back in season 2 for the club champs. That'll be kind of mid-September, I believe.
Yeah.
September 9th
Yeah.
is when you can look for this to return. But in the meantime, we're going to try and hit social media. We're going to try and reach out to some people and continue to work on our pod. And so, yeah, just excited for next season and what it could bring.
Yeah, I'm going to experiment in the meantime. most podcasts, they're going to record some episodes and have them sort of stored away. So in case there's a week they can't go, or vacation, travel, just something happens, somebody's under the weather. So we're going to try to record a few, get them stored up in the bank, so that should we hit situations like that, we've got a few that we can roll out. And then we're going to experiment with shorts. All right, so just walk around the club, just do a few videos, maybe during a lesson, just back off to the side and record something and post it, just to kind of get some engagement up and see how that goes. I mean,
it's a world we're venturing into, right?
Right.
So
We'll try
we'll see how it all goes. Yeah. So I think that's really it for this season. I have a pod dedication. I have a pod quote. But is there anything else you want to touch upon before we say adios for season 1 of Game, Set, and Chat?
Yeah, well, I have a dedication.
Awesome.
I want to throw that in there.
Awesome.
Okay.
Go for it.
So my dedication is to Noah.
Oh, shoot.
Because if it weren't for you and your mentorship and your encouragement on this coaching journey, I wouldn't be here, right? So I, kind of helped friends and family, and somebody offhanded comment said, "Hey, you're pretty good at this. You should try coaching." And I'm like, what? But I thought about it. And, well, okay. Noah had started up a beginners clinic here at the club, and before that, we really hadn't interacted a whole lot. In fact,
not much at all. Funny story coming.
Yeah, in fact, my first impressions of Noah was not necessarily positive, but I won't go into too detail. But thankfully, I didn't let that ruin what I feel like's become a good working relationship. Anyhow, so I just went up to him, and I think I called him in the gym one day and said, "Hey, can I help out with this beginner clinic? I mean, I don't know pick up balls, feed, be your example, like whatever you need. I just want to hang out and help and kind of see and learn about what coaching is." And he's, "Yeah, absolutely, mate. Come on out." So helped out with that. We had a really good crew. And then as part of that, people started asking for private lessons, which wasn't part of the deal. So I had to go talk to the boss man, and he gave me a goal, which I smashed, probably to his surprise. And, so I've just been coaching. And so I really appreciate the support you've given, the mentorship on how to be a good coach, and taking me seriously as a coach, and understanding that I really do want to be the best coach I can be. And so you've just been supportive of that, and helped me when I had questions about things, and always there. And now, this was your idea, and here we are having a good time doing this. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, it's a two-way street, because you beat me to it, because my pod dedication was you, mate. So
we did not plan this.
We did not plan this. I was like, oh shoot, he beat me to it.
Sorry.
Mate, it's become, a real friendship and a real working relationship, and I really appreciate you. And I think it was an absolute no-brainer from the start, because when you find someone that's passionate about tennis, and when you find someone that's passionate about helping people, which, just lights you up when you help people, it's awesome. So, and thank you for everything, mate. I appreciate it. So
that was a solid handshake for those of you that are just listening.
That was a solid handshake.
Good.
That was a good one. Yeah, we don't do fake, wish-washy handshakes. No, Coach Ed style, nice and firm.
That's right.
So the pod quote is going to be an us quote. I don't know if you guys have picked up on this, but I've kind of taglined "Just Keep Swinging" in our intro and our outro, and on our Instagram page, and things like that. And you're hoping to get a couple t-shirts made. So if you know how to make t-shirts for free, just send them our way. But yeah, guys, just keep swinging, right? It is that simple. If you enjoy your tennis and you can keep getting out there and swinging the bat, good things will happen. So with that being said,
love it.
We'll see everyone in season 2. Reach out, let us know all the things in the meantime, and we'll see you in September.
Sounds great. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for listening to Game, Set, and Chat. If you enjoyed hanging out with us, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We'll see you next time. Until then, just keep swinging.